So this is Misha Dex, and I'm here with.
Keymon. Yo, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm tired. You good?
Yeah, I'm tired. I think New Year's. Happy New Year's, by the way.
Same to you, because I was supposed to be at your house.
Yeah,
Ramshackling through your closet.
but you want to act like you don't want to be a third wheel around here, so
Oh
it's all
God,
good.
because it really is worse than that. It's not even a third wheel is a
Well,
compliment. I've
man,
become an actual figure now. I be
well,
washing dishes, changing peppers.
but but it's not like we be like mushy type of thing or whatever. So
No, I be
I'm
wanting to
feeling
have pillow talk with y'all. Y'all don't ever let
it.
me have pillow talk.
Well, next time you can sit at the feet.
Okay.
Oh
Stupid.
man. So I have a question for you. So what does YB negative means to you? What does it mean to you?
Of course you would ask that. I think for me, it's a lifestyle, right? Since you've known me, right? I've not that I've sat in depression about weight, but I've always felt like I needed to represent for plus size women, right? And the ability to dress up and be beautiful and not fit into these like stereotypes of what beauty is. So for me, why be negative when you can be plus, like plus size living, plus size abundance, not even just in the physical sense, just really negating from like the negativity that comes with all aspects of me as a black woman, as a minority, as a plus size black woman, right? So all these different boxes that I feel like I'm too round to be stuck in, I feel like that's what YB negative means to me. It's like it's that lifestyle, it's the mindset, and how I want to be respected in any room I walk into, and for the young people that I represent, from my nieces, nephews, um, in general. So yeah, that's what YB negative means to me. What about for you?
Can I put a pin in that? Can I ask you a question real quick?
Okay.
Because I feel like most people who know you knows your personality, and if when people continue to watch, they're going to see your personality. So did you ever feel like you were using your personality to kind of help cope with you being not the quote unquote figure, like, the plus size or whatever the case may be?
No, I think that's just naturally been me. I feel like I have ran into people in several different ages, right? So I'm 42, about to be 43 in like 2 weeks. And I have ran into people I haven't seen since high school. I've ran into people that I hadn't seen since 16 years ago. Like the storyline remains the same. Matter of fact, Parker, he talked to somebody I hadn't seen since junior high, and they was like, Tremisha's still the same. And he was like, she ain't changing. Like I don't think that is what has ever been a shield for me, right?
Mm.
Because the truth of the matter is, I think I'm an active introvert. If anything, I wanted to sit in silence. I wanted to be left alone. Like I'm still coping with receiving compliments. Because when you know me in my fashion, like I don't do it like nobody else, and I don't do it for nobody else. So to go back to your question, like no, I don't think my personality was ever um this cape. It's just there. It's something I can't even shake. It's the part of me.
That's awesome. That's because I wanted that to be kind of like put into that because I know who you are and I know
Yeah.
that it was never that. Even though I kicked you out of my house for joking around too much. That's a whole
I
nother
mean,
story for a
I
different
definitely
day.
can't wait to tap into that. Who gets kicked out for making you laugh too much? That's
Oh man,
wild.
we go back to that. But
Anyway.
to answer your question, what YB negative means to me is as I look at this our logo and it takes me back to just the childhood days of writing on a chalkboard and things of that nature. And so when I what it means to me is it has always worked out. Like what are you worried about? And so and yet I'm still worried. But when I saw this is why I gravitated towards the name and this our logo is because it just took me back where it was no worries when we were younger. And as I got older and started navigating through life, things have always worked out from
Yeah.
being divorced, going to jail, filing bankruptcy. Like it has all worked out, and still to this day, I worry. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, dude, if you
I
sit
think
back
that's
and looked at the mirror, like,
I think that's the basis of a lot of people. And I feel like it doesn't matter how much money you make, right? It doesn't matter how much you fix yourself up, whether it's in the spiritual realm, if it's physical, right? Like you can have reached all the goals in life that you have, that you set out for yourself. But sometimes it's still not enough, right? And then you think about that dash, that negative sign after the B, right? But then it's met with a question mark. So even if the Y and the B wasn't there, negative Y,
mm,
like
that is true.
what are you going off of? And so since you have even set the tone with the vulnerability that you put out just now by mentioning the divorce, by mentioning filing for bankruptcy, going to jail, all these different things that I feel like people use social media to negate from those truths, right? And then you have me. So what's my story, right? If you've been divorced, if you've been through that, um, I've been engaged once, and for me, I think I entered adulthood way differently than a lot of my peers, right? Like I got into my first relationship at 2020, 21, 22, and I was so naive and thought that that was going to be the man I was going to marry, right? Um, but we got met with some
Hey, right?
challenges. First of all, the fact that I'm like the rich auntie of all rich aunties right now with no babies, and the fact that I was engaged and have been pregnant multiple times, twice, and had miscarriages, and by the same person, right? Um, so to even tackle that, I thought for a minute, I just couldn't conceive. And going to a routine check, because obviously you know this, but everybody doesn't know that I'm a breast cancer survivor, right? So going through a routine check on multiple occasions, because not only do they check your breast for a mammogram, they also check other organs to see if the cancer has traveled. So while getting that done, um, without going into much detail, my doctor was like, "Oh, she had to use a clamp, for testing," and she was like, "Oh,
It
we know
just
you're gonna
sounds
have a
like in
problem."
school.
Shut up. She was like, "Oh, you won't have a problem holding, like carrying a child." And I thought that was interesting. And so then it made me start thinking on a deeper level of I'm glad I didn't go back and forth with him because we don't equal life together, right? So there was nothing wrong with me carrying, but for whatever reason, I couldn't have his kids. But not even a deep dive into that, but other stuff, right? Like just all the different. You got questions? I can see it.
No, no, I'm just saying, but without with that, even you mentioning, you know, that pretty much you guys didn't align with each other, but during that moment, I can imagine how dark it was,
Oh, for sure. Because
right?
I wasn't
Like,
just met with the miscarriage. I was met with the miscarriage that the fact that I had a mass in my boob, right? And then few months later, we didn't make it. The engagement was off. So we're talking about hit after hit after hit. And if you want to know how strong you are, it's not when you flex, it's when you got to. You ain't got no choice.
mm,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then my anxiety, at the time, I didn't even quite understand that. I was young. Remember, I was 23 when I got diagnosed. So and had the miscarriages and all the things that was taking place. So I was still a baby essentially. And then something you said earlier when you was talking about, everything always worked out. Well, my biggest fear was, will I make it to 36? Because my mom died from breast cancer at 36, right? So now here I am, 23, miscarriage. Miscarriage led to defining the mass in my boob and thinking that this is the man I'm gonna marry, right? And be with. And what I just tell you, I'm about to be 43 in 2 weeks. So that was 20. This year will be 20 years.
that's wild. That's wild.
And there's still no ring on my finger besides the diamond I got tattooed on my finger because I chose me. um, no babies, and no shade to that. I have godchildren that I wouldn't trade them just to have my own for nothing in the world. You know what I mean? So anyway, we
So,
have these different things so it can get us to where we need to be.
so would you consider yourself unbroken?
Unbroken?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I looked at myself as broken more than modified. Like
Mm.
black people, we the queen and kings of modification. What we call it niggery, right? When that fan didn't work, you got that shoestring and you tied it on. When the
Put
old
it on the
school TV.
antennas.
Exactly. So because when you think about broken, you think about discard, right? You don't keep broken stuff. I mean, black people used to keep. I don't know why. This is my PTSD. Keep all them broken down can openers. I can't stand that to this day. I can't even. I don't even like miscellaneous drawers. Anyway, I'm going on a
Oh
tangent.
man.
My point is, I don't necessarily think in this space. Maybe in the past, but I'm not there anymore. May have felt broken or another, but I just think I've been modified in a way that still functions and still operates in the highest level, like as far as frequency wise, because I'm still doing the work.
With that being said, I was having a talk with myself the other day, and what I realized, or the question I asked myself, is that have you have you always been able to handle it,
Mm.
or was it a facade? Because now that I'm a brand new father again, started over, homeowner again, and the worries of leading a family and a full functional family, um, I'm like, damn, like, have you always had the strength, or was that a piece that was missing? Because you sure are worrying right now, so
So
something isn't adding up.
the reality is what we were always taught that it was already written. We just don't remember, right? If we're living in this reflective state of what was already pre-written, it was already done, and it depends on where you are religious wise and spiritually, right, to understand exactly where I'm coming from. It was already done. So then it goes back to the saying, you won't miss what's meant to be yours. It's just a matter of you getting to yours. I just so I was just telling, I developed curriculum for to do with staff retreats and stuff. And I was telling Daisy that I've been waiting to hear back from a particular space to do some retreats for some therapists. And I said, I want to do something that not so much debunks the idea of vision boards, but what about the lost vision boards? What about all the ones, all the accolades that we were shooting for, and now they're in this like vision board graveyard, right? Because we're constantly on the move forward that we don't take time to look at everything we accomplished. And the other part of that conversation is when I do my keynote speaking to young people, I remind them that the biggest statistic is your biggest fight. Like your biggest fight is your statistics. Like a lot of us are already successful based on statistics, but we're so big on trying to look a certain way, improve that we're worthy in spaces that we don't even get our damn power from. We don't even get our recharge from these spaces that we're trying to like fit in.
So when I think about recharge, obviously I'm thinking about how my cell phone is always on empty, and you can't make a call from an empty cell phone, pretty much.
Right.
And I feel that that has been the one of my biggest priorities as of late, in terms of making sure I'm surrounding myself with people that's going to recharge me and fulfill some gaps that I'm I feel that I'm missing, right? Not necessarily what I think society has given me or whatever the case may be, that I feel like I'm personally missing. So I went on a birthday dinner a couple of weeks ago with my folks. And
That
one of
I
the
wasn't
biggest
invited
things,
to.
hey, you were invited. I dealt with you on Friday. Got to keep you in doses. Um, but we also, and to go back to that, you said it the day before or a few days before, the simple words of "I'm proud of you," and I would say hearing that phrase or getting that compliment in the last within 2 days or 3 days of each other did so much for me in terms of the weight that I had on my shoulder.
Mm.
And so when I talk about having the right people around you to help push you and motivate you and help console you, like that's so important, especially when we have, I have 3 daughters, 4 girls that's dependent on me. It's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of weight. And I also know I cannot pour from an empty cup. So hearing those words of proud of you, you come a long way. Like I didn't realize I needed to hear it until I heard them.
But do
And I
you
was like, oh,
remember in the context that you got it? Do you remember the
oh yeah,
conversation that was happening? And I
yeah.
said, wait, let me just say this. I'm proud of you. Because again, we're so big on moving forward that we're not looking at all that we've accomplished. Like we've been talking about this for the last month now. Keymon, take some time and acknowledge you have been blessed abundantly from not just the healing journey, right? But this new home, the start of a new family. And sometimes we just be moving so fast that we probably don't even see the compliments, let alone hear them. I'm sure
Mhm.
people have said, I'm proud of you in their own origin, right? Because everybody's love language and the way they speak is so different. The proudness can be a pat on the back or hey, y'all need some boxes. You know what I mean? Let me help y'all move. Like it can be different. And even when you was like, hey, you want to come over and help us pack? I said, unpacking is a gift too. And you saw what that meant when I showed up and helped unpack and then organize, right? So yeah, I am proud of you. I've always been proud of you. I think we just needed to get to a space where we can receive that because the old key might have been like, man, shut
Yeah. It still probably says shut up in my
up.
head. But
You gotta
it's just the
work on it.
way. Yeah, hey, we just said it's kind of hard taking compliments, but no, and it did something for me because I noticed, a couple of weeks following that, like I walked around with less weight on me. I actually sat in the backyard and took time to actually enjoy it. Um, and so, but I also didn't realize, like, damn, those are some powerful words. Those were some powerful words. So I appreciate you for that. And shout out to Glenn and Jason for that love as well.
Yeah, I think it's so I'm working on multiple projects, and one of the projects I'm working on that I told you about, and that I'm eventually going to get you to be a part of that is the vulnerability of Black men, right? Without saying the name of my project just yet, I'm still in the interview process of that, but I'm hoping that those interviews that I'm doing with these different Black men from various backgrounds, right? Have the opportunity to dissect themselves and their emotions the way you just did. I think that's the representation that is missing on all platforms. Black men being vulnerable, Black men expressing emotions outside of just the three anger, happy, and sad. But even sad don't even show up like sad, right? It show up like angrier.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but even articulating how something has impacted them, where they're not feeling like, oh, I'm being soft. Or what's the other one? They want to negate to, oh, that's so gay. But guess what? Some of the strongest men be gay.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and so it's like we start lessening characters, right? Or belittling people because we don't know how to process something. And the
Yeah.
whole time, it has nothing to do with the person. We're projecting the fact that we can't articulate our emotions, or we haven't got to a
Yeah.
safe space to acknowledge like who we truly are. Um, like even the way I dress, like I tell you all the time, I go straight to the men's section because they be having some fly stuff, and I be damned you gonna tell me I can't put on that man hoodie
Yeah. No.
and
And
put it
you
with
got
a
the
skirt.
money to and you got the money to buy it.
I'm gonna let you speak that into existence in Jesus' name, amen. I shop on a budget.
Excuse
But
me.
no, it's just, being comfortable without feeling like I got put in a box because I'm shopping in the men's section. Like that has nothing to do with my sexuality. That has nothing to do with the way I don't see myself. It has everything with being comfortable enough to know if it's cute, it's cute. If I want to rock it, I'm gonna rock it. And that's the same way about articulating my emotions. If I feel it, I feel it. If I feel like I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. But also being aware of how I say it, who I say it to, and what is my intention. That's the other part. It's always being intentional with like everything that I do.
So do you have a word for 2025? I'm just
Me,
curious.
me,
Me. Uh, tell us
me.
more.
Because I can't say that I always chose me. I was always waiting to be chosen. And case in point, I can tell you without like, I don't want to put nobody on Front Street, right? Where I have people that I was interested in that did not choose me. But when they saw me and wanted me, right? I was like, nah, because I see me now.
That's
You
that.
can't come to me when you broken. You can't come to
Mm-mm.
me when you feel like you can use my light. Now my light brighter. It's always been there. Let's be very clear. I've always had a light. I just put my shades on too much. And I didn't realize how much I was brightening rooms when I stepped in them. And so I really I'm in a new phase in my life. I would say the last 3 years is when it really started kicking in. But baby, last year, baby put her feet to the ground and got grounded. And you can't tell me too much of nothing about me that I ain't already allowed myself to explore. And I still got hell of exploring to do, right? And also looking at the things that I didn't get at the time that I thought I wanted as protection. We always be taking life so personal, thinking like, oh, God don't like me, he punishing me. But the whole time we be sitting here being protected. And then there's that freedom of will, right? So when we start doing stuff and that freedom of will impacts our outcome, then we think it's God. And the whole time it was like, nah, I was trying to show you that I got you. So for this year, me is because I am waiting to see what I'm going to get out of everything I put in this world.
That's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think you deserve whatever you desire. And
I
that's
appreciate
just the
that.
way it is. That's I mean, and I've seen. I mean, we've known each other ever since Latif album came out.
Here you go with this Latif. You just got to
Oh
bring that
man.
up.
Oh man. So no, it definitely feels good to hear you say that. That's dope.
What about you? What's your word for 2025? Or like the ghetto
Oh,
people say, in 025.
ooh, I don't even know. I think I've been playing with a few words and haven't really landed on one.
Can I give you
Um,
one?
yes,
Calmness. I think you got to work on being more calm. It's a
I can
good
see
look on
that.
you. It's a good look on you. As much as I can talk, I can be silent and I can be very vigilant and really watch and observe. And calm on you is a good look because when
Mm,
you're calm, you create an atmosphere. Like you always talk about my personality. The reason why we click so well is because we got matching personalities. It just comes out different ways. When you're calm, you control the room. I
mm,
I, I see it all the time.
okay. I agree. I think, and I don't even think I even thought about that. And I think I was going to take it to really leaning on like faith and stuff that I've been trying to do or have
Mm,
done. And I don't know why it's so different right now at this phase of my life.
mm.
Like, because it's not like I'm making more. I'm probably making more, but it don't after Uncle Sam take everything. It seems like I'm
You
not making more.
because it's
Like
not monetary. It's
no,
money. Money
and that's
can't buy
some
it.
and that's what I'm saying. So when you talk about that, when you talk about the blessings that have entered my life, so I'm really like what are you doing? And it's a constant talk with self, right? And so
Uh,
yeah, I think calm is a good word. I think it's a really good word.
I again, like I'm not trying to like get mushy because I'm a thug. I just feel like I've seen, they say, it's stupid. They say, when you can see people in every season of their life, then you truly know that you're a lifetime subscriber, right?
Mm.
And I do believe that I'm a lifetime subscriber to you. I've been there with you from it all. You know, I,
From it all,
child.
yeah.
At this point, I feel like I should get an engagement bracelet out of all the relationships. Like I deserve a piece of jewelry to commemorate the friendship.
Hey, and
No,
it's
I
and
just
it was beauty. There's a beauty about it. It's all been a part of the journey. Like
yeah,
like that's all you can take from it. Like
yeah.
I've taken.
I've just seen you. I've seen you, and I still see you. And I think there's conversations that you and I can have that I take pride in knowing you're not going to have with somebody else. Everybody won't be
Mm,
privy to that, right? And I also am honored that my opinion matters. So you said that I made the comment that I'm proud of you and that stuck with you and that lingered, right? You said something to me and I have always struggled with compliments and imposter syndrome and wondering if I'm really saying the right thing? Am I really walking in the right light? But you said something about the reason why you wanted to collaborate and have these conversations online so that other people can not only grow with us, right? But create spaces and find their support. You said, man, because once you start talking, and then, when Jason start talking the way y'all think, we could be having this small conversation and then you'll just say something. It just sparked this whole thing. And for me, that felt like I was, they make the comment about like, who is home for you? Like, I feel like I have provided home for you spiritually, right? And that
yeah,
means a lot because with trust is a big thing. It is as much as it's a word that seems so basic, it holds so much weight.
yeah. Very, 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 very. Ooh,
And I
yeah,
just felt like, dang, we haven't said these like as much as we have been here through everything with each other, we always maintain communication. And I'm going to give you your props. You make that happen. You make sure you reach out if we haven't talked in such a long time, and I appreciate that. But most importantly, it's easy.
yeah.
It's
And
easy every time.
that's the glue. That is the glue. It is easy, even though you get on my goddamn nerves.
Trust
It
me, I
is
know I do because this
easy.
new baby don't even like me. That's wild. All the babies love me. No, that baby got some type of
Uh,
DNA stuff going on.
oh
She just
man,
me.
oh man. Leave my baby girl alone.
That's all
No,
right.
but
Wait to
no,
start
I
talking.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. So where do we go from here? What any closing remarks or anything? How do
I
you want to
just
wrap for the
wanna.
you want to wrap for our
Here you go.
you
You
want
always at this point. I think you missed your promotion. Career. You were supposed to be a promoter, or manager, because you stay
okay.
trying to pimp
Okay,
my
so
talents.
how about this? Can we get a poem after every episode?
Not yeah. When you write it, we're gonna challenge you to write a poem.
To write a poem? Interesting.
And
Okay.
it can't be no roses are red, violets is blue, none of that crap. Okay,
I hear you. I hear you. All right.
this is crazy. You thinking too hard. I don't like it.
I am. I am. I am. Let's take it back to my classroom days.
That's funny. No, I think a good wrap up is something that is way overdue, and that is me appreciating the space that we created. My intention, I think we should always lead with what our intentions are. So, with this conversation, my intention is to have long term friends take a time and moment to pour back into each other. Say the things you haven't said. I mean, we know that time is not always on our side. Take this opportunity to tell your friends how proud you are, how much you love them, how much you appreciate them and their opinion. Pour back into your friends and always remember to be intentional about what space you hold with the people that you care for and you trust.
I like that. I like that. And for me, I think the wrap up is this question: why be negative?
When you can be
When
pleasant.
you yeah, because when you find yourself in the moment, simple question, simple ask,
Yeah,
and it's only for you to answer. No one else.
seriously.
No
Well,
one
I
else.
appreciate this space again, and I look forward to our next conversation. And trust and believe. I'm not gonna be giving you all these compliments, sir. Okay, this was it. This is it. I'm just playing.
Can I get five each time we connect?
Yeah, and I'm gonna
just,
charge you $100 each one.
just five. Make
I'm gonna
the
reach my
people.
savings goal real quick.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Compliments. I just need a place where I can actually just be real, talk, because it's not about having, or it's not about the harmony in our conversations. I want the
Oh,
real.
for sure.
And if
I
you
don't
sit
know, cause
next to
you
me, you
might be
can't give me the
like,
real. I mean, I might cuss you out, but then it's gonna have
real
me
quick.
thinking though.
You'll
It's
cuss me
gonna
out
have me
real
think.
quick.
It's gonna have me thinking, and I need to be challenged in ways that um I feel like I'm personally not showing up. in. So
So
that's
can we
it.
say it together? Why be
Why
negative?
be negative?
We're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it together.
Peace out.